So, und falls ich das hier auseinandergeschnitten habe, wirklich, dann schauen wir jetzt, was passiert, nachdem wir die Krone auch haben und alles. Wo will Caradoc sich treffen? Wo ist der verkohlte Weidenmann? Ist der hier? Ja, okay. Geh mal hier runter und wir schauen weiter. Er ist nicht mehr da. Nee, da ist er doch. Oder jemand anders. Okay. Nee, das sind andere. Doch, nee, das ist schon er. Okay.
We are ready to begin the moot. We were only waiting for your return, once and future king. You were strong enough to walk the king's thread, and you conquered it. What is your will, my king? What decision have you made regarding the giants?
Keine Ahnung.
I understand your decision, though I struggle to accept it. We had the chance to end the war once and for all, and instead we are left with a fragile peace. I only hope that the threat of the weirdness is real enough that Camelot will turn its strength toward protecting the people, and not, once again, to march on our lands. Thank you, my king, for your intervention. I, the voice of the Dalrida tribes, accept your decision with humility and gratitude.
Geflüster.
An eye for an eye. There's no other way. Does that surprise you? I was the one who honored. I was the one who tried to convince One Eye not to throw people into guerrilla warfare, but to organize. But for that, I'd need united tribes. And getting us all to work together on our own turf?
We could have defeated Camelot once and for all. And now, that chance is gone. I should have known this was the decision the king would make. After all, why would he support our tribes? We should at least be thankful he did not side with Camelot. That would have been the end of Dalrita.
Wir machen das schon noch.
So the giants have returned to their sleep. They have gone to the place where they shall meet the mother and my tribe. It is a wise decision. No one should hold such power. Had I stood in your place, I might have chosen the same. And we, the Dalrida, shall endure without their strength. Of that, I have no doubt.
Und du, neuer Anführer?
I know not everyone will be pleased about losing the giants, but I believe it was the best decision we could have made. The Dalriata spent too long cowering like children before their greatness, and I had grown weary of giants sitting on the throne. Now we can finally be free.
Gut. Den Hirschtypen kann ich nicht fragen.
Now you ask me, when it was your choices and actions that led to those consequences. Not all of the Dalrita came, and this is surely not the outcome Gurfhana hoped for. But since you ask for my thoughts, the Dalrita united would be an unstoppable force. If we wish to avoid bloodshed, perhaps it's good that not everyone followed the voice of the tribes.
Okay. Wenn das kombiniert wird mit dem doppelten Schaden oder dem Schaden, den wir davor zugefügt haben, ist schon mächtig. So. Sag mir, wo wir uns treffen, Mann. Da war ich ja noch gar nicht. Oh. Da Das ist weit. Wir laufen jetzt, habe ich das gesagt oder nur gedacht? Wir laufen jetzt natürlich zu dem anderen Tor, um den Weg da ein bisschen abzukürzen.
You're from outside, aren't you? Silly question. You don't look like anyone from the tribes.
Echt?
Tell me, do you know anything about One Eye? Where he's stationed now? Of course. I'm Olwyn of the Svein tribe, though I don't know if they'll let me keep that name after running away like this. But I don't care. My tribe isn't what it used to be. I doubt anyone's still alive anyway. I don't know if I can talk about it. It's still too raw, you know? Something terrible happened. Truly terrible. Our god, the Lord of the Hunt, he got out. Out of wherever he was being kept. And then he did what gods like him do. He hunted. Faithful or not, it didn't matter. There was so much blood. I'm sorry. I can't talk about it. Even under normal circumstances, that would be risky. Our archers would drop you the moment you stepped on our land. I don't know how many are left, but if I were you, I'd go to Gurfhan first. He can give you a pass, so you can visit the tribes without, well, getting shot. So if you value your life, go to the capital first. After that, wander as much as you like. So, about One Eye. No way. He actually pulled it off. I heard rumors he wanted to strike a deal with the Southerners, but I never thought he'd manage it. Well, thank you for the information, and see you in better times.
Ich habe das die ganze Zeit überhaupt nicht auf dem Schirm gehabt, dass wir Camelot besiegen müssen oder so. Müssen wir vielleicht auch nicht, das kann man doch auch ausquatschen. Also, Burning Man, wo bist du? Mach den Port noch hier an. Schon wieder ein Level-Up. Hirschi. Hm. Okay, dann mal los. Caradoc.
So, you finally made it. Took you long enough. I hope you're ready, because this is it. The beginning of the end. This is the Charred Conclave, a graveyard for druids, burned alive as scapegoats for the Red Death. It's a reminder of what happens when people fear what they don't understand. They spoke out. They should have stayed silent, kept to their herbs and potions, but they didn't. They believed their ancient knowledge, ugly and painful truths from times long past, could save Avalon from the plague. And maybe they were right. But people don't want the truth when it's covered in blood. Cruel rituals, sacrifices, hard choices in search of real results. They called it wisdom, knowledge gleaned from the weirdness itself. But to the people, everything they did was unnatural, costly, and frightening. The druids believed their results would justify the costs. They thought Avalon would see them as saviors. But the people didn't understand, and fear turned to fire. Well, the Red Church and their politicians made sure of that. The druids became a convenient enemy, a way to shift the blame and tighten their grip on power. It's always so simple, so banal, isn't it? Well, death doesn't always mean an ending. It was a sacrifice so costly, so cruel, so pointless, that it tore a rift in the fabric of this world. An ultimate wound. And so you're the closest you'll ever come to seeing the true shape of this world. Well, first, you're going to meet my former employer. We don't see eye to eye anymore, but we both realize that our collaboration yields results, as shown by you being here. He'll try to sugarcoat the hard truths I've been telling you from the beginning, spin them differently. Never mind. Why waste time here talking about it when you're just a step from the end? It's best if you just go forth and see for yourself. To greet you, I was once where you are now. A knight with questions, searching for answers. That search led me to this place. And here I found my answers. Now it's your turn.
Okay, dann mal los. Du sagtest ja, du wolltest mich töten. Das Handy muss jetzt mal die Schnauze halten, bitte.
Just remember, this is the point of no return. Once you step through, there's no going back. But if you've come this far, I suppose you already knew that. Go on. He's waiting for you.
Na dann. So, Arthur, Merlin oder wer anders? Oder ist Caradoc Merlin? Was ist denn das? Ich habe es ja schon mal gesagt, ne? Die Grafik ist manchmal ass, aber für solche bombastischen Dinge, da haben die echt Top-Menschen gehabt, der das gemacht hat. Oder mehrere.
At last we meet. I've heard much about you. Your choices, your determination. Caradoc isn't easily impressed, but he was impressed with you. Few dare to seek the truth buried in Avalon shadows. Fewer still make it this far. I was the first. Caradoc followed when my brethren burned and the tear opened. And now, here you are. A truly rare and joyful occasion. Oh, forgive my lack of manners. I am Orin, the last apprentice of Merlin, and the last archdruid of Avalon. I've carried the weight of this land's secrets longer than I care to admit. But names mean little. What matters is the task before us. What lingers here, it's older than Avalon. Older than anything we know. What you see is the beginning of weirdness itself. Its purest form, raw potential, unshaped by anything but its lack of boundaries and limits. Beautiful, isn't it? Oh, precisely the opposite of what Caradoc wants. I want you to help me resurrect King Arthur. Properly this time. Ridiculous, I know. But yes, that's what it boils down to. At some point, we stopped seeing eye to eye and chose different paths. Ultimately, though, both our paths led to you. Yes, please let me explain. By the end of his life, Arthur became obsessed with his legacy. He left mementos, artifacts that embodied the virtues he wanted Avalon to preserve. Excalibur, a symbol of loyalty and sacrifice. The crown of Pendragon, a beacon of courage and resilience. The shield of Palamedes, wisdom and independence. But Merlin and the others didn't believe that would be enough. The memory of war and the fragility of peace was still too fresh. So they acted. When the king died, his soul wasn't allowed to move on. It was shattered, bound to those artifacts. A clever solution, but ultimately flawed. You can't pick and choose with a soul, but that's exactly what Merlin did. He focused on 3 parts of Arthur: his strength, wisdom, and courage. He left out 2 pieces. One, tainted by the Four Dwellers' magic, was deemed too dangerous. The other was his humanity, the most fragile part. Merlin thought compassion and doubt were weaknesses, unfit for a king. Without them, Arthur became hollow. A king with power, but no heart. That way, Avalon's greatest failure was born. They feared losing what Arthur represented more than losing Arthur himself. They thought the king's essence would endure, if bound to his relics.
Bisschen weird, aber passt jetzt zur Weirdness.
I tried. And I found his humanity. It's here, bound, kept safe. But the Four Dwellers' aspects was left to drift, untethered between worlds. Finding it needed more than magic. It needed someone like you. The horrors you endured on that island gave you something no one else has. You can move through the weirdness, touch it, and return whole. That's why you found the king's soul, bound it to yourself, and came back. You flatter me. No, I couldn't have predicted all of that. I merely nudged the Red Church in the right direction, and asked Caradoc to assist where I couldn't. I can see you're still doubting me. I want to bring back our king, whole and complete. I want him to lead again and safeguard Avalon's future. It won't. This time, Arthur will be whole. A king must be more than power. He must be human. That balance is what will save Avalon. Because I've seen what happens without him. Weirdness preys on the weak, and the people are too divided to stand against it alone. Arthur is their only hope. Ever they're left without him, without guidance, chaos takes hold. Division festers. You've seen it during your journeys. If things continue this way, Avalon will tear itself apart long before weirdness finishes the job. They will follow him. That's what people do. When weirdness comes to their doorstep, they'll beg for a savior. And Arthur will answer the call. Help me bring the king back, whole and complete. That's all I ask of you. Now you need to go further. I made my case. Please keep in mind what I told you. This is the only way for Avalon to survive.
Caradoc will mich töten. Also, uns, also. Wie auch immer. Achso. Ich werde jetzt einfach gesprungen. Wir dürfen ja wohl mal zwischendrin speichern, ja?
I was there when it all began, when Arthur first set foot on Avalon. I was a knight in his army. We believed in him, in his dream, in his kingdom. And for a while, it was glorious. Every battle felt like a step closer to peace. Every sacrifice justified by the dream we shared. But then came the cost. The war crimes, the impossible decisions, the massacres, slaughters, and irrational cruelty. We turned from knights into butchers, all because his dream demanded it of us. At first I told myself it was necessary, that it was the price of building something great. But the longer it went on, the harder it was to believe. That's when I realized Arthur wasn't a god, a savior, or a king. He was just another man, no different from the rest of us. And no man should have the power to demand such sacrifices. But do you understand why I want it so much?
Tja, ich weiß nicht, ob es da eine richtige Antwort gibt. Weil du hast, was aus dir geworden ist eine dankbare Antwort, aber zu simpel. Es wäre uneigennützig. Weil du dich verraten hast, wäre auch uneigennützig, wäre eigennützig. Weil du dich verraten fühlst, wäre auch nur ein simpler Grund. Genauso wie ein persönlicher Rachefeldzug. Aber das unsterblich machen ist irgendwie paradox in sich. Und hat vielleicht andere Konsequenzen auch noch mit sich gebracht.
I'd like to believe that after 600 years I've moved past pettiness. You need to understand that people thought and still think that he was more than human. But he wasn't. He made mistakes, just like any man. And the cost of those mistakes was always paid for by others. I've seen what happens when people cling to kings and myths. They wait, they follow, they waste their lives on promises that never meant anything. But that's not my problem. I'm not here to fix Avalon or to free anyone. What comes after doesn't matter. Let it all burn, let it rot, let it rebuild. I won't be here to see it.
Das, wenn du vernichtest, ihn ersetzen, meinst du etwa, die Menschen könnten allein gegen die Wildnis und die Monster bestehen? Willst du, dass die Menschen ohne Führung gegen Widrigkeiten kämpfen? Das fordert das Chaos nicht geradezu heraus? Er hat doch gerade gesagt, das ist ihm scheißegal. Oder seine Reaktion, da werde ich auch ihn töten. Nee, das ist doch gut. Chaos ist mir auch egal. Untergang. Keine Ahnung.
Then let it. If this world can't stand without a dead king propping it up, maybe it deserves to fall. Arthur's the only myth that still holds weight. And when he's gone, the rest will rot with him. A puppet king, another empty throne, none of it will last. Maybe they'll keep pretending for a while. Maybe they won't. Let them stand, let them fall. It's not my concern. If the weirdness takes them, so be it. At least it won't be another king's failure. Another lie propping up a dying world. It'll just be what it is. Call it chaos, call it freedom, I don't care. Let them rise, let them fall. Let them tear each other apart. I just want to watch it all come down. To see the last lie collapse under its own weight. What comes after? That's for the ones still standing to figure out. I've lived longer than any man should, seen more than anyone should ever bear. And I've waited centuries for this moment, this chance, to end it all, to end him. Orin's a druid. That's what they do. They believe. They believe in myths, in symbols, and some of them believe in saving Avalon. I don't believe it's my decision to make. Not Orin's, not Arthur's, not mine. I've watched this cycle turn too many times. I have no stake in what comes after, only in making sure this nightmare finally ends. We were fools to tamper with forces we didn't understand. Resurrecting Arthur, infusing him with powers of the weirdness. We didn't just bend the natural laws, we shattered them. Such violations of nature's order cannot go unanswered. The bill comes due, sooner or later. Always. This cannot be allowed to continue. Listen, it's taken longer than I ever imagined, but now, here we are. You've done what no one else could, what even I couldn't do. You've brought Arthur's soul back together, almost complete, but not quite. And because of you, I can finally finish what I started centuries ago. So, thank you for bringing us to this moment. You're close now. Just one more step. The last fragment of Arthur's soul is waiting for you. Complete what you came here for. And then, we'll meet again. As allies, or as enemies. That's up to you. Go. Find the last piece, and let's end this. Whatever comes next, I'll be ready. I hope you will be too.
Okay, kann ich also entscheiden, ob Arthur stirbt oder nicht? Camelot. Schön. Wo bin ich denn? Ich habe keine Map. Haha. Smart. Ob.
You've come. The one who carries what's left of me. Please, don't come any closer. Don't force me to think about coming back again. Just let me finally die. Because I've had enough. Enough of being torn apart and stitched back together. Enough of being used, shaped, and forced to be something I'm not. Do you know what it is like to be a king of nothing? To see the people you swore to protect suffer because of your choices? Or worse, in your name. I've seen towns burnt to the ground, families destroyed. All because someone thought it would serve the greater good. And they called it loyalty. They called it justice.
I've been dragged through every dream, every lie they've built around me. And I'm tired. Tired of the weight, of the expectations, of all of it. And most of all, I'm tired of failing. Orin wants a king, not me. He doesn't see the broken man behind the myth. He sees a symbol, a weapon to wield against the weirdness. But symbols aren't people. They're empty. And the more they're used, the more they hollow out the one who carries them. That's all I've ever been to Orin and the Druids. Do you know what it's like to be a weapon? To be forged, sharpened, and thrown at every problem? He thinks ending me will free Avalon. But what then? Without an idea, a light to guide them, they'll stumble, lose their way, and turn on each other. People always seek something to follow, something to believe in. Take that away, and they'll tear each other apart trying to find it. Or worse, build something even crueler in its place. I want release. I want to stop being a tool in their endless struggle. Kill me. Destroy the last piece of me and use the energy however you wish. Take it yourself and become the new king. Give it to someone else. I don't care. Just don't let me come back again. Let me die. Not as Arthur, not as the king, just as a simple, normal human being. Isn't that what you've been doing all along? Carrying what's left of him? You've already taken up the humanity I was meant to represent. Doesn't that prove Arthur doesn't need me anymore? I don't care. Do you know how freeing that is, to finally not care what happens next? Whether Orin gets his king or Caradoc gets his ruin? To not feel the burden of all my failures? To not see my memory tarnished, my plans, goals, and ambitions dragged through the mud? To not see the suffering my name causes? No more deaths in my shadow. No more kingdoms built on my bones.
Irgendwas ohne Sterben. Keine Ahnung. Wir haben so viel umgehauen.
Another way? There's always another way, isn't there? Another cycle, another resurrection, another lie to keep the world spinning. But please, not for me. Not anymore. I've had enough. I don't want another chance. I want this to be over. Do what you think is right. That's all I can tell you, because whatever you decide, it will finally be your choice, not mine, not theirs. And that's the only thing I've ever wanted. You hold the choice. I don't care who you side with, Orin, Caradoc, or no one at all. You have all of my soul. Use it. Take it for yourself, or give it to someone else. I don't even want to know. Do what you will with it. Just let me go. Let me finally rest. Let me die. Please.
Ich weiß nicht, ob ich ihn jetzt hier erschlagen soll. Also ich würde seiner Bitte nachkommen, aber... Das gehört wohl dazu. Ei, 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 ei. Er hat doch let me die gesagt, also...
Help me bring the king back, whole and complete. That's all I ask of you. Now you need to go further. I made my case. Please keep in mind what I told you. This is the only way for Avalon to survive.
Go on. He's waiting for you.
Oh, hello there. Let me go. Let me finally rest.
Der Kelch.
You carried a dying king across the bones of a dying world. Now you stand before what started it all. An idea. I am the reason there must be an ending. I do not guide. I do not judge. I exist so that something can be chosen. I do not offer meaning. I require that one be made. You have brought all things to their conclusion. Now, decide what must remain. Choose, and let the shape of the world follow. You will vanish into the story you chose to restore. You will break the frame, and what follows will not remember you. You will be seen. You will be followed. You will be blamed. You will shape the world to become its witness. Who do you have in mind?
Gott, wer ist denn das alles? Ein Auge, nee. Brandon, war das der von den Hörnern des Südens? Neont war die Kollegin in der Katakombe und Yvain. Wer war denn Yvain? selbst behalten.
Then the idea shall be claimed, its shape worn, its burden made yours. But first, you have to bring silence to what refuses to be forgotten.
If this is what you want, then take it, my friend. But promise me you will learn from my mistakes.
No, I won't let this happen. Not again.
You think any other human could wield this power? I endured 600 years of pain, of suffering, of loneliness. I made the sacrifices, me! And now you think you can take it from me? The hubris. No. I reject your claim. I will reforge Avalon. Perfect this time.
Hey, mein Schwert.
You took Arthur's power for yourself. Whatever drove you, need, ambition, or will alone, the strength of a king was now yours to command. Maybe you weren't ready. Maybe nobody ever is. But you decided to try. It's a heavy thing, trying to do right where others have failed. Still, you stepped forward, carrying the soul and every choice that brought you here. You ruled not as Arthur reborn, but as yourself, flawed, resolute, untested. Avalon changed beneath your hand, and history will decide what that truly meant. With One Eye and Captain Brandon working side by side, the South found a peace it hadn't known in years. The roads stayed open, the fields were guarded, and the people finally felt safe. No longer bound to Camelot or the Knights of the Round Table, it became a land ruled by its own people on its own terms. The men here stayed in Kuenak, but Yvain failed to rally the minds and hearts needed for his Grail quest. With no clear leaders and rising tension, both Kuenak and Camelot grew fragile, drifting toward division, with no one left to hold the line. You awakened the giants, only to command their end, leaving no power behind for either side to claim. Without their strength, the balance held, but the divide between Camelot and the Dal Rita remained, wide, bitter, and far from settled. Fergus was named the new Galahad the Loyal. With One Eye and Brandon unable to rally the Dal Rita of the Forlorn Swords, the South remained divided. Fergus prepared Camelot's forces to reclaim the region by strength, determined to restore unity through conquest if necessary. The captain led the South to independence, breaking all ties with Camelot. Under his rule, the Horns of the South flourished. Merchants, pilgrims, and adventurers returned to the roads, and prosperity once again reached the far corners of the land. One Eye ruled the South with the Horns of the South at his side. The Dal Rita, the Forlorn Swords, remained divided, leaving the South strong but isolated. Without wider unity, his rule endured for a time. The future beyond his leadership remained uncertain. Nianta left Kuenak with Yvain, and her fate remained unknown. Yet among the people she once served, tales of her devotion and courage endured, and her name was remembered with respect. Maggot chose to remain in Kuenak, and the people stayed with him. Over time, they grew to trust him and often sought his wisdom. In time, he took on an apprentice, planting the first seeds of a new druidic tradition. Urfir stayed with the people of Kuenak, choosing to share their uncertain future. As trust in Anselm faded, the community became divided, with many calling for Urfir to take Yvain's place. The Volker joined the rest of the Dal Rita, without a matron and without Mathar's blessing. Even so, their warriors kept the ferocity they had once been famed for, tempered now by a clarity that left the other tribes uneasy. They were respected, but only barely. For what greater dishonor is there than turning one's back on the goddess who had made them what they were? Ingui turned away from the eternal sleep, choosing life over dreams. In time, she began to rebuild the Thoid among the living, planting the first seeds of a new future for her scattered people. Under Stronner's leadership, the Ulfra found new strength. He rebuilt the tribe and reunited them with the rest of the Dal Rita, restoring their place among the tribes of the Forlorn Swords. Following Galerna's path, the Sven clung to the old ways, their faith sustained by the Stagfather's living presence within the unrealm of the hunt. They turned inward, shunning outsiders, and deepened their devotion to the blood-stained rites of their ancestors. You accepted the mycelium's offer and let the spores consume Sagramor's body. Now the kingdom lies under fungal control, its people connected, obedient, and slowly fading into the roots that feed the spores. After returning to Camelot, Killian lived quietly for a time. When he vanished, few asked questions. Unsettling rumors had always followed him, but most preferred not to remember.
Ja, Abschlussgeschichte, hm? Nicht schlecht. Nicht schlecht. Das mit dem Pilz hat mich geärgert, weil da wollte ich eigentlich, wäre besser gewesen, alles sauber zu machen. Ansonsten finde ich es gar nicht so verkehrt. Wer will schon alles geeint haben und alles in so einem Faschismus enden? Da habe ich doch lieber hier alles ein bisschen unsicher, keiner traut so wirklich den anderen, aber keiner schlägt sich die Köpfe ein, das ist doch ein bisschen besser, oder? Jeder kann sich entscheiden, wo er leben will. Das ist nicht alles das Gleiche. Manche ziehen sich zurück, manche wollen woanders hin. Also ich habe jetzt da keinen dramatischen Untergang mitbekommen, aber ich komme dann auch mit der Maske zurück und dann sage ich erstmal allen, dass ich der neue Pilz bin. So. Ich lasse das hier ein bisschen laufen und quatsche, aber ich glaube nicht, dass ich es komplett durchlaufen lasse. Oder vielleicht schon, aber dann halte ich die Schnauze und mache mich schon mal weg. Also aus der Aufnahme raus. Das Spiel hat mich oft mal aufgeregt, sehr oft gelangweilt, aber die Main Story, so wie sie jetzt auch nach dem Patch ist, ich weiß ja nicht, wie sie davor war, ja, ich habe sie nicht kapiert, weil ich eben das über 3 Monate, glaube ich, gespielt habe. Dass das im Hintergrund steht, das Land zu einen und so. Ich habe das immer nur so beiläufig mitgenommen, weil ich nie gecheckt habe, dass ich dann da doch irgendwie die Hauptrolle spielen soll oder das am Ende entscheiden muss. Deswegen habe ich das alles nur so ein bisschen auf mich wirken und eintröpfeln lassen. Mit dem Wissen jetzt wäre es tatsächlich sogar interessant, das Ganze noch mit zu spielen. Aber dafür ist es mir in der nahen Zukunft tatsächlich einfach zu umfangreich. Aber durch diesen Wiederspielwert, und sie haben ja New Game Plus mit reingebracht, waren die, ich glaube, 45 € schon recht hoch, aber ich denke auch gerechtfertigt. Ich bin halt auch keiner, der sich Spiele für 80 € kauft. Mit Ausnahmen. Mit wirklichen Ausnahmen. Für mich ist eigentlich ein Vollpreistitel 50 € und alles darüber ist schwer verkäuflich. Muss schon ein gutes Argument haben. Deswegen ist Tainted Grail für mich auch fast eigentlich ein Vollpreistitel. Und deswegen bin ich da so ein bisschen zurückhaltend mit der Bewertung. Aber es ist genug Content, um den Preis zu rechtfertigen, würde ich sagen. Und es war auch technisch soweit okay genug. Es hat so ein paar Immersionskiller gehabt. Die Unterhaltungen waren steinern und hölzern. Aber die Main Story hat mich dann schon jetzt am Ende tatsächlich schon wieder abgeholt. Das kann ich schon sagen. Jo, Credits sind durchgelaufen. War kein so Riesenteam wie bei den anderen Studios oft. Ich weiß aber nicht, ob ich so jetzt hier skippen muss oder ob das von selbst passiert. Ich klicke gleich was. Oftmal werden die Geduldigen ja belohnt. Aber jetzt sind es schon, weiß ich nicht, 20 Sekunden ohne Text. Ich glaube, da kommt nichts mehr. Ich drück mal. Ich muss aber halten. Glückwunsch, du hast das Spiel abgeschlossen. Du kannst jetzt in die Welt kurz vor dem Ende zurückkehren und Avalon weiter erkunden. Falls du bereit für eine noch größere Herausforderung bist, kannst du mit deinem aktuellen Charakter, Inventar und Fortschritt ein neues Spiel beginnen, in dem die Welt dir noch mehr abverlangt. Du kannst deine Reise hier auch beenden und das Spiel verlassen. Zurückkehren, so wie es ist, will ich eigentlich nicht. Ich würde sagen, wenn ich es jemals wieder spielen möchte, dann mit neues Spiel Plus. Und deswegen aktiviere ich das jetzt hier auch. Aber das Schwert hätte ich gern.
The all-consuming Red Death. 600 years ago, King Arthur led the great escape from the homelands, where our kingdoms were ravaged by the plague. Leading people to Avalon, he started the Age of Conquest and took the island from the Four Dwellers. Using the mysterious powers of Menhirs, together with Merlin, they cleansed the land of the weirdness, a primordial force.
Den Rest kann man sich woanders anschauen.
Yes, it's me again. And I hope this time you'll cooperate without me needing to repeatedly hit you in the face, eh?
Ich kann hier noch nicht speichern. NSP. Okay. Laden. Ich habe so ein Quick-Ding, oder? Hat er eins erstellt? Ach du Scheiße, okay. Ich hätte gerne Excalibur gehabt. Schauen wir mal, ob wir das bekommen, wenn wir drin bleiben.
Are you doing okay?
Mhm.
You carried a dying you were then but
If this is...
You think I can...
So, jetzt haben wir mal ein bisschen was raus.
you took Arthur's power for yourself. With one eye and Feargas was named. Nianta left Kuan. The Volker joined the rest. You accepted after returning to
Okay, man kriegt es nicht. Man darf sich das Schwert leider nicht nehmen. Wissen wir das auch. Entschuldigung. Ja, das wollte ich euch noch zeigen. Von daher passt das. Also ich wollte es auch mir zeigen. Ja, dann hat das ganze Schlusswort eigentlich kaputt gemacht und die Zusammenfassung. Aber hey, ich gehe nicht davon aus, dass das sehr viele Leute hier erreichen werden und dann, also bei mir im Video und dann meine Meinung auch noch hier sich komplett anhören. Und ja, und die 2 Leute, die es machen, Dankeschön. Vielen Dank fürs Dabeisein, vielen Dank für die monatelangen Mitschauungen, sage ich mal. War eines der erfolgreicheren für meine Verhältnisse, für meinen Kanal. Und das hat mich gefreut, dass euch das anscheinend oder ein paar von euch gut gefallen hat. Ja, danke für den Support, für alle Abos und Kommentare, Likes und die vielen, vielen Stunden und Minuten des Zuschauens. Ich hoffe, ihr hattet euren Spaß, seid auf eure Kosten gekommen. Ja, und dann sehen wir uns, hören wir uns oder hörst du mich, wenn du Bock hast, in einem nächsten, anderen, ähnlichen Let's Play vielleicht wieder. Dickes Dankeschön, schönen Tag und ja, bis zum nächsten Mal. Vielleicht. Ciao.